So, was anyone here spanked as a child? Alright, people ambiguously clapping. So yeah, I was spanked when I was a little kid as a punishment. But I remember it was kind of a long process whenever it happened. Like, I'd do something bad and my mom would say, alright, when your dad gets home, you're getting spanked. And it'd be kind of like a death sentence, because I'd have to be on spank row for a while, waiting for my dad to get back. And then I would have there'd be an appeals process, but the jury would be my teddy bears, and I would use all the money in my piggy bank hiring a defense team. It was actually just my 5-year-old friend who failed out of law preschool. So of course he'd fuck it up, and I'd get convicted of stealing the cookies from the cookie jar. And then I'd have my final supper, and of course it'd be PB&J with the crust cut off. And when my dad came home, he'd be like, alright, do you have any last words before your spank? And I'd be like, my only regret is that I didn't say goodbye to Steve before he left Blue's Clues. And I'd get spanked, and it would hurt for a second, but it would be fine. I would go on with my life. Unlike people who actually have a death penalty, they are dead forever. That sucks. But back to me. A weird thing about being a little kid is that there's things that you kind of understand, but you don't fully understand them. Like, my mom told me, like, hey, your name is Christopher, but we're going to call you Chris. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. So then the next day at school, I went up to my friends and I'm like, oh, hey, Fred Staffer, hey, Joey Staffer, how's it going? Thought everyone had a Staffer. Another weird thing is, I asked my mom when I was a little kid, what is divorce? And she's like, well, it's when two people stop being married. It's like the opposite of a wedding. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But I thought that there'd be like a whole divorce ceremony that was like an opposite wedding. So like, it'd start out with a bachelor party, but it has to be at a shitty Denny's. And then once you finish the moons over my hammy, old lady stripper comes. And then you go to the church, and the bride's wearing all black, and when she walks down the aisle, the Darth Vader theme plays. And instead of the dad walking her down the aisle, the husband walks her down the aisle and hands her back to the dad. And then you go up for your vows, and the preacher's like, do you, Christopher, take Sarah Staffer as your lawfully wedded ex-wife to have and to hold a few more times when you weirdly hook up, and promise to make passive-aggressive comments to her in sickness and in health, and vow that you will make awkward small talk with your new husband every 2 weeks till death do you part. And then of course you say I do. And so then the bride throws the flowers, and no one wants to catch it though, because whoever catches it gets divorced next. And there's cake, but it's fruit cake, so no one wants to eat it. And then to end a great night, you go on a honeymoon, but you have to go to downtown Detroit for the honeymoon. And if you survive through that, then you're divorced. Awesome. Then you write "just divorced" on the back of your car. That's great. All right, thank you.
All right, Chris Potter, everybody.